Hello, good evening and welcome. My name is Paul and I help people overcome some of life's issues and get back to enjoying those lives, and I use hypnosis, happiness and hijinks. How are you? Okay, first of all, before we get started today, I have to give a big shout out to my friend Amanda because she has just uploaded a video she sent me last summer, I think it was. I'd completely forgotten about it. And basically Amanda, she says in her post, had a spider phobia, and we did a couple of sessions, completely got rid of it. And then the very next morning, I think it was after session number 2, she was in this situation whereby she was attacked by this giant spider, 50 foot tall, 80 foot wide, yeah? And she tackled the beastie on her own, yeah? And then she sent me a video, and it is such a beautiful video because, you know, Amanda is this gorgeous person who likes to present the best of herself, but she's come downstairs in a dressing gown, and the first thing she's thought about is sending me a video. I mean, how chuffed do you get as any kind of therapist, as a hypnotist like me, when a client sends you that kind of video? It's absolutely bloody brilliant. So thank you so much, Amanda, for sending that. I really, really appreciate it. And if you haven't watched it yet, either just run away now and watch it, or when I finish, just nip down in the stream and watch it again. It's really, really cool. It's very, very short, a few seconds long. So tonight, the main thing I want to talk about is distractions, distracting the distracted, which is me, basically. Today I had a plan, I had a list of things I wanted to do today, and today's Saturday, I had quite a lot to get sorted out, and guess how much I've done of it? Go on, all of it, half of it, can't hear you, shout louder. Yeah, that's right. I've done 2 things out of the 7 or 8 things I needed to do, because I got distracted. One of the things I wanted to do today was to read a section from a book that I have to prepare in preparation for seeing a client tomorrow. And I was sitting there reading the book and taking some notes, and then the next bit kind of caught my eye, and that led to something else, and that led to something else, and before I know it, I was deep in the distraction. Now, 5 years ago, I'd have beat myself up for this. I'd have got really angry, probably quite upset, got mad with myself, probably thrown the book against the window, ripped it all up, and just called myself all sorts of names because I'd got myself off track and let myself get distracted. But today, it's completely different, completely different. I accepted that I got distracted, and then trying to beat myself up and get back on track. Okay, fair enough. Look, if you're going to be distracted, just get distracted and make some use of that distraction. So what I've done is I've gone down a completely different line today from where I wanted to be, and I sorted out something completely different, which wasn't number 1 priority on my list, but it was there in the top 15 or so. Therefore, the distractions actually helped me do something else. So in your life, when you get distracted, what do? Do you beat yourself up? Do you sort of just stop what you're doing and try and get back in line again? Or do you just give up to the gods of distraction and just go with the flow? It's your choice. But, you know, if you beat yourself up over it, if you get angry, all you're doing is just wasting energy and bringing all these, I don't know what you want to call them, negative vibes, negative thoughts into your body and brain and mind. And it just puts you in a bad place. So why bother? Just say, yeah, okay, hands up, yeah, I've screwed up today, I've got myself distracted, I should have been doing this, it needs to get done, but clearly I haven't done it. So what I'm going to do is dedicate the next hour or 2 hours to that thing, and then just get on with it. We love, for some bizarre reason, we love to beat ourselves up for any and all, you know, things that we might do wrong, or just not even do wrong. Yeah, but just sometimes we go off track, we want to beat ourselves up over it. That's not the best way to do anything in life, because you beat yourself up, you start to feel down, and then nothing gets done. And then the next day you want to do something, your brain goes, oh, you're hopeless, you can't do that. I mean, do you remember yesterday when you tried to do that thing and you failed? So why bother today? It can be, if you're not careful, one of these, you know, a snowball kind of thing that gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then you end up trying to push it up a hill and get nothing done. So the point I'm making is, be gentle with yourself. If you screw up, okay? Just admitting it, yeah, I screwed up. And then, you know, start to move forward and get the thing going again. Be careful though, because if you're screwing up every day, you need to sit down and have a chat with yourself and figure out why it's happening every day. Are you just procrastinating? Have you got, I don't know, give me an example. Have you got a debt that needs sorting out? And do you keep sort of, you know, you get the envelope and you sort of shove it over there and put it on a pile of newspapers out of the way, or do you stick it in a drawer and then you get another letter from the company and go, you know, I just won't bother with that. And then you get another letter and another letter and you just keep ignoring the letters until the stress levels in your own brain start building up, until some big burly guy starts banging your door saying, please can I have the keys to your car. Why do that? Because you're still going to have to deal with the problem, whether you deal with it now or whether you deal with it in 6 months or 6 weeks or 6 days or 6 years. But by leaving it, in your own mind, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And depending on the kind of situation, that might also be getting bigger and bigger and more difficult to deal with. I had a debt, £50,000, which I kind of knew I had a problem with, or I didn't know it was that bad. I knew I had some kind of problem. And then it sort of hit me when one day I went to the supermarket to buy some food and the card got declined. I thought that was odd, I'd just been paid. This is going back 7 years now, I think. And I thought, well, why's the card being declined? I've just been paid, I've got an overdraft and everything. And I checked again and the bank, you know, I called the bank because I had to leave the shop and I was really embarrassed, really upset because it was like, you know, the 1st or the 2nd of the month and I got no money. So I rang the bank and it was the, I call it the unfriendly bank now, to be honest with you, because I rang up and got through to a person and the lady said to me, really sorry, Mr. Wilson, but the algorithm has decided that we can no longer keep you keep your overdraft running, so we've stopped it. We've written to you. Well, they hadn't written to me, they hadn't called me, they hadn't texted me, they hadn't messaged me, they hadn't done anything. So there I was with like no money, and I still was with a family at the time, and you know, how I was supposed to feed my kids and all this kind of stuff. And I cried. I sat in the car and I cried. And, you know, I started building this big, you know about my depression, I started building this big depression thing, and it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I know, look, that's not the way, that's not going to sort my problem, is it? That's not going to get you out of it by sitting here feeling like a big baby because you've got a problem. We need to get it sorted. And that's what I did. I mean, it was a real challenge, I tell you. I phoned, you know, I spoke to the bank, they were just hopeless. So I went to see Citizens Advice. They said, well, go and talk to this person, that person, that person. I went and talked to them. Long story short, I found this company who said, right, okay, we can help you. Now, I had choices. I could have gone bankrupt, which would have meant I would have lost the house and the kids and the ex-wife would have been homeless and my half of the equity would have just disappeared forever. There was some other options which I didn't really understand, and the third option was to pay it all back, every single penny. So of course, I sat down and worked out the entire debt, and it was 50 grand, just a few quid over 50 grand. And so this company said, okay, what we need to do is look at your budget, and you know, everything from, you know, food, clothing, haircuts, petrol to get to work, and all this kind of stuff. And then they just chopped it down to like nothing. So for example, I was spending at the time, I don't know, 10 quid on a haircut. They said, no, the national average is 6 quid. You can have 6 quid to get a haircut. And they did this to every aspect of my budget. And so in the end, I was left, I would say that was my salary. I was left with that to live on as described by the national average. And the difference between that and that was what I had to pay every month. And at one stage, the maximum I was paying was, I think it was like 750 quid a month. And this time I'd moved out of the house, I was still paying maintenance, I was paying my own rent and having to pay this debt. But I did it, and it was a bloody struggle. It was a really hard struggle, yeah? But I didn't have to go to court, I didn't get made bankrupt, and it got sorted in 2017, October, I paid off the last penny of that 50 grand, yeah, every single penny. And it was a struggle, but I dealt with it, yeah. So I turned this mountain And instead of making it bigger and bigger and bigger until it just overtook the planet, I turned it around and made it smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until it no longer existed. Now, you could think, oh, well done, Paul, for paying that all off, but I got myself into debt in the first place. I shouldn't have got myself into debt in the first place, but I don't beat myself up about that. I could do, oh, you're a bloody idiot, you should never have got into debt. But how does that help? How would that have helped me at the time? I mean, I thought it when I was in the car crying, I thought about that, but then I said to myself, well, yeah, okay, you're in debt now. There's no point in going on about why you did it. It's done. You know, no, what's the old cliche? No point in crying over spilt milk. You cannot unspill the milk. You cannot unspend the debt. Yeah, you cannot undrink the bottle of wine. You cannot uneat the cake. Yeah. So you have to face up to it, and then you've got to deal with it, because the longer you put it off, the bigger it gets. And this is what distraction does to us. I just don't want to think about that right now. I'm just going to put it to one side and I'll deal with it tomorrow. Well, no, don't deal with it tomorrow. Deal with it today. Let me give you another example. Let's say where you live is a shithole, yeah? Let's say that your apartment is in a real mess. You haven't done the dishes for a month. You've got piles of washing everywhere, and it's just a mess, okay? Just give you an easy example to understand. So you could say, right, okay, I can do it tomorrow, I can do it tomorrow, I can do it tomorrow. And tomorrow never comes, you know that. Alternatively, you could say, right, okay, I'm going to blitz it now, and I'm going to do the whole flat in the rest of the today until I finish. And if it takes me 12 hours, 24 hours, or 36 hours, that's not going to work either, because you're going to sit down and go, oh my God, that's just too much to do. There's no way I can do that today. There's no way I can do all of that. I'm just not ready. And you put it off again. Or the other thing you can do is say, okay, look, I'm going to spend 1 minute. I'm just going to take 1 minute, and I'm going to tidy this table. Yeah? I'm going to take those magazines, I'm going to put them into a pile, and that's it. That's my tidying for today. And tomorrow I'll do another minute. And then tomorrow, the day after that, I'll do another minute, the day after that. And what you'll find will happen, anybody can do something for 1 minute. You can do something for 1 minute. Whatever you need to do in your life, yeah, you can do that thing to get it sorted in 1 minute. But what will happen is you'll get to the end of that minute and say, oh, well, yeah, I've just tidied that table, but what about if I just take that pile out and put it in the recycling box downstairs? Or, yeah, I've just cleared the crap off that table. What if I just get the polish and just polish it? It might not happen the first day, it might not happen the second day, but the third or fourth or fifth day you spend that 1 minute doing something, you will suddenly find that you'll do 2 minutes or 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes, yeah? You'll make 1 phone call or 2 phone calls or 3 phone calls or whatever, yeah? So start really small, start really, really small, yeah? And just do that thing for 1 minute. If you've got to get fit, say you've got to lose some weight. Say you're saying, so Paul, I need to lose 5 stone. And evil numbers, yeah? But I can't do that. I'm never going to lose 5 stone. That's impossible. Like, oh my God, it's just too much. I can't do it. I may as well just carry on eating the crap I'm eating, because I'll never drop 5 stone. No, you won't. Not because you built 5 stone is a humongous amount of weight to lose, and that's all you can see. That's all you can see is that 5 stone is just too much. It's just too big. So what you do is you break it right down. And you say to yourself, okay, Paul, what I'm going to do this week is I'm going to get rid of ½ a pound. I'm going to lose ½ a pound. Yeah? Anybody can do that in a week. It's a piece of cake. Literally, it's a piece of cake. Yeah? So you do the things you need to do to lose ½ a pound. Maybe instead of eating, 3 donuts in a day, you decide that you're going to have 2. Yeah? Instead of having 2 cubes of sugar in your tea, you decide only to have 1. Small things, small things. And suddenly that 5 stone you've got to lose comes down to that tiny amount. And you go, yeah, I can do that. That's easy. I can do that. And then every day you do a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And then a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months down the line, you look back and you go, bloody hell, was that me? Look at me, I was huge. Look at me today. So what I'm saying is, yeah, okay, get distracted, admit that you've been distracted, find out and you understand why you've been distracted, and then say, okay, yeah, I've been distracted, but I've got this thing, it needs to be sorted. I can't do it all in one day, so I'm going to do one small part of it, just one tiny little bit, and then do a little bit the next day, and so on. What do you think? Do you agree? Disagree? Have you got your own way of dealing with things? I'd really appreciate it if you let me know in the comments. I don't know why I'm doing that, because I'm standing here with a table, sitting here, and there's a big space in front of me, so you can't write on my lap, can you? What I mean is, in the comments, yeah, let me know. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have you got a different way of doing things? I'd really appreciate that. That's the end of that section. Next little bit, it'll take me 2 minutes. From Monday, I'm going to be starting 2-minute tips. It's going to be a random 2 minutes anytime during the day, in addition to this video, and I'll be trying to stay online just to explain a 2-minute tip that might benefit you. But what I would like to know is, have you got any 2-minute tips that you do that would help others? And again, drop me a message, drop me a comment, send me a PM, whatever you like, and let me know, okay? Next thing is, I'm now going to be starting a brand new group, and it's going to be called Live Your Best Life. Thanks to my brilliant friend Amanda. Again, she came up with that idea, and it's going to be about helping people help yourselves to do better. Simple thing, yeah? It's not going to be a pity party or a whinge-a-thon. It's going to be concrete ways of doing things to help yourself, yeah? And I'm going to be inviting people on to do interviews and about, you know, what they do to help themselves and maybe help other people. I've got all sorts of ideas. If you've got ideas, let me know. I'd really appreciate it. So that's it for today. My name is Paul. I use hypnosis, happiness and hijinks to help people overcome issues and get back to enjoying their lives. I will see you tomorrow night, Sunday at 8 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Bye.